You ever meet someone who's really smart but somehow always broke? They have opinions on everything, they understand complex ideas, they're insightful, they're logical, but for some reason, their reality doesn't match their potential. And maybe you're realizing that person might be you. Look, I'm not saying that to insult you. I've been there. A lot of us have. The truth is, smart people fall into a very specific trap, something I call the intelligence trap. And once you understand what it is, everything suddenly makes sense. So let's talk about it. Have you ever noticed how you can know exactly what to do and still not do it? Like you want to start a business, or fix your finances, or learn a new skill, or get into shape, and you've done the research, watched the tutorials, taken the notes, you basically know the whole map. But for some reason, nothing actually changes. And then you feel frustrated because you're like, I'm not stupid. So why does my life still feel stuck? It's because your brain is doing something sneaky. When you're smart, you're really good at thinking, analyzing, predicting, planning, and avoiding. Yes, avoiding. Most smart people don't fail because they lack intelligence. They fail because intelligence becomes a shield that protects them from taking action. And that's the heart of the intelligence trap. See, when you're smart, you can imagine every possible failure before it even happens. You can talk yourself out of opportunities. You can convince yourself the timing isn't right, or that you need to research a little more, or prepare a little longer, or wait until everything makes sense. Here's the truth most people miss. Your brain can feel active without your life ever moving forward. Thinking feels like progress, but it's not. This is where we get into the whole thinkers versus doers thing. Thinkers are amazing at ideas, planning, and understanding the world, but they tend to get stuck in their heads. They want clarity before action, certainty before risk, perfection before progress. They have high standards but low follow through. And because they're so smart, they can explain their lack of action really convincingly. I'm not ready. I need a better plan. There's something I'm missing. I'll do it when I'm more confident. Meanwhile, the doers, they just start. They don't overthink. They don't wait for the perfect moment. They don't care if they look a little silly or if something fails. They learn by messing up and trying again. They build momentum while the thinkers are still thinking. And here's the funny thing. In the real world, doers beat thinkers almost every time. Not because they're smarter, not because they're more talented, but because reality rewards action, not ideas. Let me give you a simple example. Two people I knew. The first guy is one of the smartest people I've ever met. He reads constantly, he researches everything. He has notebooks full of business ideas, real, solid, creative ideas. But he's also brilliant at imagining every way each idea could go wrong. So he never actually starts. The second guy, total opposite. Not academic at all, barely reads. Didn't overthink anything. He had one simple business idea and said, all right, let's try it. He didn't know what he was doing. He failed. A lot. But every time he failed, he adjusted, tried again, got better, and little by little, things started working. Fast forward a year, the less intelligent guy was making real money. The super smart guy was still updating his Google Docs. That was the moment I realized something. The world doesn't pay you for what you think. It pays you for what you do. Smart people stay broke because they confuse intelligence with execution. They think understanding something is the same as doing it. But it's not. So why do smart people fall into this trap? There are a few reasons. First, analysis paralysis. When you're smart, your brain can see too many possibilities. So many paths, so many outcomes, so many risks. And the more options you see, the harder it becomes to pick one and move. Second, identity. A lot of smart people are attached to appearing intelligent. Trying something and failing feels like it might threaten that identity. So instead of risking failure, they risk their entire future by doing nothing. And third, overconfidence. This one's sneaky. Smart people think they'll figure out money later, or that they're above basic habits like budgeting, saving, and execution. But money doesn't care how smart you are. Life doesn't care how smart you are, it only cares about what you actually do. So the big question is, how do you escape this? How do you break out of the intelligence trap and start actually moving your life forward? Let me give you three simple ways. The first one is something I call the 70% rule. If you're 70% ready, not 100%, not even 90%, but just 70% ready, you must start. Because the last 30% only comes from doing the thing, not preparing for it. That missing clarity you're waiting for, you find it through action. The second thing is switching from thinking time to doing time. If you give yourself an hour to plan, you'll plan for an hour. But if you give yourself an hour to do, you'll actually move forward. Your brain learns more from 10 minutes of real action than from 10 hours of thinking about action. And the third thing, start with tiny wins. Don't try to overhaul your whole life. Just aim for one tiny step today. Send one email, upload one product, record 1 minute of video. Learn one small thing and apply it immediately. Tiny wins grow into confidence. Confidence grows into consistency. Consistency grows into results. So here's the takeaway you need to hear. Your problem was never intelligence. Your problem was believing you needed to think your way into a new life when really you needed to act your way into one. You're too smart to stay broke. You're too smart to stay stuck. But the version of you that succeeds, that version isn't smarter, it's braver. It takes the first step before it feels ready. If this hit you, drop a comment saying, "I'm a doer now." Because this is your moment. This is where the thinking ends and the doing finally begins.